Alright, so in the last couple of parts, we've been focusing on CSS and how to integrate it into our web page. But in this part, I'm going to be teaching you guys a little bit more about HTML. And so I figured, since we're going to be meddling around with newbg.html for the last time, I might as well just, walk over how to create, how to set up a web page. I'm just going to do this real quickly without narrating it. If you follow along, then that's great. Otherwise, you might want to recheck some of my previous videos. It's basically checking to see if you guys have been keeping up. Alright, ready, set, go. By the way, like how I told you, I know how I told you guys about the comments. I'm just going to leave a comment right here just in case I happen to have not been allowed to use this. I'm going to say use in GameSpot Favicon recreational purposes only, or something stupid like that. But, yeah, I'm not meaning to blatantly copyright. Anyways, going back to not speaking. Actually, we're not going to keep a style sheet. At least for now, anyway. Alright. Now I'm going to be going over some different stuff. I'm just going to be meddling around with this web page, just check and see how I make this look pretty sweet. Again, just check and see if you'll be able to follow along, because if you're able to follow along, that means you guys have been paying attention, and so happy you get to be able to make a web page. I don't know if I went over this or not, but when you apply something to the entire body, that means everything inside the document is changed. When you apply something to only the head, anything inside this head tag is changed. Anyways. Just ensuring that it doesn't do anything. I mean, I don't know why it would, but actually I can get rid of that. We're making the font family Courier. By specifying just plain old color, you basically are specifying, color of, the font. Green. Now this is for normal, text. I'm actually going to get rid of this H4 element. I'm going to make it normal text, which means since it's normal text, it's going to be affected by the body, font size declaration. And we're going to want to make the font size 15 pixels. I'm just going to check and see if that's any good. Now check out this web page. 15 pixels is not bad. If I were to get rid of that, let's just check how that would look. Might want to get rid of that. I'm actually going to specify it to be a little space. $13? 13's good. And then we're going to want to make, text dash line center. Now that's great. Actually, we'll make the text a little bigger. There we go. Now it's actually somewhat legible. So now that we've formatted around the, CSS a little bit, so I'm going to be teaching you guys something like, to store, like let's say I wanted to make a schedule, because that's what I'm going to be doing right now. I want to make a schedule. Let's say I wanted to make a schedule. Now, normally what you expect me to do was use just paragraph tags or something to make the schedule, or just, use a lot of aligning or whatever. And that's very plausible. Really, it is. But the problem is, some browsers might interpret this differently. Like Google Chrome's interpreting it like this. Other browsers might, like, interpret my careful formatting by different things, and other computers might display it differently. So if I want to achieve like a table data-like effect, I guess why not just use tables? Which is why HTML has a table tag actually. This would be done by just achieving this can be achieved by just typing in table, and inside each table there's different rows, right? So we just use different rows, and let's say we have a bunch of data in each row. So the first cell in this table's row will have this thing in it, my name, and the second row will have okay. But let's say I wanted to input someone else's name. I'll input, one of my best buddies of life, Brendan Ellis. So now if we refresh our page, as you can see, we've basically created a really cool data page, which basically will, it's nice and organized. And if we align this table, actually, you can only achieve this by aligning it to the center. You can't do text-align center, because I don't think that work. And if we want to break line right here, just to further enhance our space, we're going to 2 break lines then. There we go. Now, let's do something cool now. Let's format this table a little bit. Inside this, let's say we want this table to have a background color of make it lavender, because lavender equals happiness. Then our table has that nice little lavender background. So this would look good against, I'm guessing, background color of orange, maybe? I don't know, I'm not a fashion kind of guy, but we'll make it orange. Wanna know why? 'Cause orange looks awesome. Anyways, so now that we've made our table and our data and everything, let's actually make a schedule up for me. So we're gonna want to make a new table, like I stated previously, and we're gonna want to break the line right there. And first row. Now, if we have headers of each table, like how tables might have like a header, well, we just implement the th tag, which is a table header tag. So let's just say activity and time, and just put up with this for a little bit. I'll explain to you the method to my madness. And let's say the first activity we're going to do is eat breakfast. And since I'm a lazy guy, I'm going to have to wake up at 12 in the morning, or in the afternoon. I don't know. Anyways, if you refresh the page now, as you can see, well, I'm going to want to align this table to the center first. Sorry, just wanted to check to make sure my code was right. God, I clicked on stupid Sibelius again. Anyways, our table looks pretty, intense. Let's just make the background let's make the background actually white. So now our table is, our table's only thing blotched out as being white. But, the table header tag now, takes, it takes our font and makes it bold. I'm going to change the font family to Arial. I don't like the way Courier looks when it's bolded. I don't like it at all, actually. There we go. So now, as you can see, since eat breakfast was longer than activity, activity was centered to the kept to the center. If we wanted to change that, we could take the easy way out and just put all the text inside the table to align to the left. That way, activity would be right here and breakfast would be right here. And regardless of breakfast being greater than activity, the time, it'd be to the left. So let's say we want to implement more stuff that I do during the day. In each row, we're going to have to implement something new. So the first header is activity. So what am I going to do first? After I finish eating breakfast, I hang out with my friends. And when's the time that I do that? Well, I'm a large eater, so I eat until 1:30 p.m. because breakfast is the most important meal of the day, after all. So now we added another another thing to the list, But since all the text has automatically been formatted to the line to the left, you know, it doesn't really show off what we want to do, so I'm going to get rid of that. Because I want our headers to be shown as headers. So if you fix that, then now, you know, so now as you can see, everything's been aligned to the center because, you know, one thing's bigger than the other thing. If we wanted to fix that, what we could do is we could define, you know, the table header. We could define actually the table data to have text us aligned to the left, not you know, formatting table header. That way, while the table headers stay in the center, our table data goes to the left. In the next part, I'm going to be teaching you guys a little bit more about tables, but I've gotten pretty far, so that's it for this, guys.